Hello and welcome
Yeah.
back to the Who Pod. Today we're going to be talking about Revolution of the Daleks. Now we both have different opinions on it, so it's going to be very interesting to talk about it today. Today I'm joined by Will, who's going to be the other side of the
Hello.
argument. Um,
Yeah.
so it's a review, but it's also trying to persuade each other the other person's opinion as well, isn't it? With this one,
Yes, very much so.
because it happens quite often that we have varied opinions on an episode. Um,
It does. It does.
but
Do you want? Obviously, you think it's one of the best.
yeah,
I really, really did not like it, and it made me feel bad thinking that, and it made me feel bad for made me like not. It made me feel bad being a fan of the show because I felt like the show was a bit of a joke.
okay, what do you mean by joke?
Well, I did. It felt like Doctor Who's thing that I don't know. It just felt like it's becoming a bit of a joke now, Doctor Who, and that sucks because it's my favourite show. And then when Ollie watched it with me, and he agreed, like that was no. Anyway, so you do yours first because I've got mine building up.
So I don't understand the idea with that it's a joke. But yeah, so I liked it because I felt like this is the first time that we've felt that, like, when the episode ended, it's quite difficult to say everything because I know what I mean. But when the episode ended, I felt like at that point the fam actually connected with me a bit more than it did in previous episodes. Right? Previously, couldn't care much for them. I mean, Graham,
I still no, never mind. You're
but
going.
the
You're
others
going. You're
not so
going.
much. And
Mm.
I think that was a big shame. But I think that at this point, I kind of had during that scene in the TARDIS when they have that kind of hug, and she's walking around chatting fam, and hopefully we can stop that now. But
Hmm.
with that happening, I sat there and kind of went, do you know what? I'm quite sad that we're losing Graham and Ryan because I think that if they treated Graham and Ryan like they did today in this episode today, then they could do that. They could make epic companions. And I think
See,
Yaz got a lot to do in this episode as well, and that's been lacking a lot in all of series 11 and 12. Um,
I no. I'm not sad that they're leaving. I would have been sad, however, if Ryan had died.
yes, well, I'm sure we can go to this at another point, but I mean, what was up? What was up with um, all those rumors that kept happening about how Ryan's going to die, Graham's going to die, everything like that? It was so obvious to us that it was going to happen. I was so surprised when it didn't.
Because he says the line, which has been perfect foreshadowing, we're not going to get exterminated or something.
I know. And when they left
I
the
thought, oh, he's
TARDIS, I
going
was
to
like, well, we're
die.
never going to see them again. They're never
Yeah.
going to be seen again. And I think that they kind of played onto that idea. But I think if they did kill them, well, we all expected them to get killed. Doing the opposite would have been better because then it
No, because
subverted our expectations.
this would have been a worse. What I think right now is a worse outcome than if Ryan had died, taken a bullet for Graham, and Graham needs the TARDIS because he can't deal with the loss of his grandson.
Well,
So I'm
I would have
also
done it the
being
other way
data.
around. I would have killed Graham. Uh,
No, no.
So I am quite happy that Ryan chose to leave, and I think I didn't mention this in my review, but I think that Graham felt like it was just kind of like, oh, right, you're going, I better go too.
Yeah.
It's like I want to stay, but I can't stay because I
So
need to leave
yeah, the
because
thing
we're
is,
kind of a
Graham didn't
duo.
really have a reason to leave the
Yeah,
TARDIS apart from the fact that Ryan wanted to leave.
and it was a case of
That's
him
why I
following
think
his
he should have
grandson
died.
than anything else. And I thought that was quite sweet. Like by the end, like I said before, I haven't liked the era as much as I've liked others. But at the end of the episode, I felt like I had respect for them that I didn't before.
Well done, Ryan. You can ride a fucking bike.
And I said this in the review, but
We joked about that like the day
yeah,
before,
but you can.
and then it
Oh,
came true.
Ryan
We were
rides his
like,
bike.
yeah, we joked about like,
Character development.
don't. We said, don't we? This episode, he'll either die or get character development of him learning to ride his bike. We said that as a joke yesterday, and that came fucking true. The second I saw him on that hill, I just burst out laughing.
I would argue that they didn't get the character development from that hills bit at
No,
the
the thing
end,
is,
the last shot.
it's not character development. That's the joke. We were joking about that.
Yeah.
But the second I saw them back on that hill, I just burst out laughing. I could not take that scene seriously.
No.
Especially when fucking Sun Grace comes down. Oh my god.
What was it? I don't know. I think that the ending scene was like the worst scene because I was
The ending
really
scene
confused.
is shit.
Yeah.
What the funniest thing I get, which carried on laughing, was them said, "Oh, the sun must be in my eyes." The sun's fucking behind him.
He kept saying,
You can see the sun behind him.
He went, "You're doing it, mate. You're doing it, mate." And I just thought of all those memes from 2 years ago. That's just all that sprang to my head. And after that sort of emotional ending, really, that wasn't needed, that last scene. And of course, for some reason, this is really weird. Right at the end, he falls off his bike again. So it's like you've gone back to what he was before. You've said that he's changed. And yet, maybe the ending could have been him continuing to ride his bike. But no, he fell off the bike. So he hasn't changed. Not his bike.
Nobody else changed because when he fell off last time, he yeeted his bike off a cliff. This time, he got back on and tried again. Character development, baby.
Like, I get the idea that he's outgrown the Doctor, because companions do. Martha did, for example. But I think that because we didn't see his ties to the real world, like, he sat there and went, "My friends."
Oh my god, he said, "My friends." You've
friends?
seen one fucking friend, and you say you've got trips. He's not a fucking friend.
It's a case of, like, he's like, "My friends need me," but we haven't seen that. You can't just say,
Like,
"Oh, yeah,
when
my
Martha
friends."
said,
Like, Martha said she
I
needed
linked
a
it back
family,
to
didn't she?
Martha. I linked it back to Martha. And when you said, "I need it because of my family and all that," we know her family.
Yeah.
So we're like, "Fair, Martha, get out. Go live with your family. Enjoy life." But my friends need me? You've got no fucking friends.
Well, we've seen one.
Oh, and he's got...
And the people that he played basketball with didn't have any lines of dialogue. I mean...
Yeah.
I'm really happy with their exits because I'd much rather they stayed alive. But I think you have to take them with a bit of a pinch of salt, to be honest.
No. Ryan should have died.
I do get why you're not happy with the ending because it's not what we were thinking it would be.
And I think Captain Jack was done poorly as well. Sorry, I'm sorting out my pizza box.
I kind of see what you mean with the Captain Jack thing because there's
He
been
was
so
done
much
poorly.
hype for him being in the episode. And in
And
my
then,
review,
oh my
I
God,
just said,
can we also
yeah, John
talk
Barrowman's
about
good.
How much bull... Sorry, I'm just going to rant it for ages. And I'll probably interrupt you, but I'm sorry. Why... Right, I know people always go, "Oh, it's just subverting our expectation," what the fucking word is.
Yeah.
But why was the Doctor... There was no point of her being in prison. Literally
I know.
no point.
Yes,
if
I
a
did say
fucking
that in the review.
bounty ball can escape her. There was no point in that whole cliffhanger at the end of Timeless Children.
Well, there was because
no
she had to
point.
get in the prison.
Okay, the only
But
point of her
I see
being
what you
in
mean.
prison
There was no...
The only point of her
ramifications
being in
for
prison
it.
was giving Ryan a reason to leave and Yaz being a reason to get angry at her. That's literally it.
And
she should have stayed in the prison. They should have broke her out in the last scene.
I thought there was... I thought they would break her out. Do you know, like, Flatline? I thought it would be companion with the help of Jack. Because you can't just companions can't just fight Daleks.
I
so
thought
you had Jack and them as defeating the Dalek, and then at that point you would have them break the Doctor out, realizing that they need help, right? For whatever reason they need help or whatever, right? For some reason they get her out. They get her out, and then she comes and she does. Maybe she could do exactly what she did in this episode when she gets someone in the TARDIS and all that kind of stuff, and then they disappear. That could be. That would be fine, but I felt
that'd be what you need it for.
It didn't add much to get her out early. I think it was a case of God. Jodie's hasn't been in this episode that much. Right. Okay. What do we do? Just get her out. Get her out now.
Question.
Yeah.
How would Jack recognise the Doctor? Exactly.
He knew it. He knew. He never met her, but I'm pretty sure at this point he's known her. And he's been looking for her, so you must have known what she looked like before he went looking.
No, you would, Dan. He's known the Doctor as a guy his entire life.
Yeah, but now he knows it's a woman.
Yeah, now he knows. Of course he does. But how come he goes, "Ha, you missed me, right?" Oh, and that's not the line. But hey, Doc, how the fuck would he know?
Well, he's been searching for her. He's been trying to get next to her for ages.
What?
He says that in the episode.
They were just in prison together.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was a bit weird, to be honest.
I thought
that aspect, the idea of breaking them out. What did you think of Yaz? We talked about everyone else. Do you want to talk about Yaz?
Yaz was probably one of my favourite characters in this.
I mean, she has a lot of promise now going into season 13. Series 13.
Yeah, well, not anymore. They've added another fucking character into it.
I mean, I am surprised by that, to be honest. I'm hoping that he's not a full, like...
Oh, he's so going to be a full companion.
He probably will be, but I'm hoping that he doesn't have a huge part. You know, I really hope that they develop a lot of Yaz.
The next Graham, I'm telling you.
But he could be there just for the comic relief and the stuff like that, not really needing his own drama-focused arc, if that makes sense.
What, you think he's going to be like a Nardole or something?
I was thinking more like a Graham, kind of there for a bit of like humour and that kind of stuff.
No, because I think Graham... No, because Graham's an actual companion. He is. Graham shouldn't be the comic relief.
Graham is
Nardole is the comic relief.
Yeah. Okay, then give him a bit of Nardole, you know?
Yeah.
He's a bit of Nardole. But, you know, Yaz, I like her drama with the Doctor, even though it kind of gets pushed to the side a bit, doesn't it? You know, they kind of ignore it.
I got so annoyed, right?
I hope it's not over,
annoyed.
to be honest.
No, watching that thing, watching her, like, the way she punched, like, the Doctor or something, and all I can think is the Thasmin stands being like, oh my god, Thasmin! Oh,
yeah,
Jesus
I did think
Christ.
that there was a lot of moments when they'd mentioned things, but not directly say things. I'm like, oh, those Thasmin stands.
And you knew they're going to go, the Thasmin stands, and be like, oh my god, fucking yes!
Should we talk about the Daleks?
Should we talk about the Daleks?
Well, have you finished it, Yasmin? And Thasmin and all that?
She was alright. She was alright.
I think that she shows a lot of promise going into the next series, and I think that her being focused on more would be better.
Yeah.
She definitely has some seeds, I suppose, that could be planted and used for something in the future. You know, there's a lot of untrust with the Doctor, which I think is good.
Seasons already, you should at least know who she is. Cough, Chibnall.
I mean, she did have some moments in this when I thought, hey, she's, you know, being a cop here, she's investigating and all that kind of stuff. Towards the beginning of the episode. In the beginning of the episode, she's sitting in the TARDIS.
TARDIS,
yeah. She's kind of trying to be like a doctor, like kind of thing. Which is nice. But yeah, let's talk about the Daleks, shall we?
Shall we talk about Jack? Actually, not Jack. Sorry, Jack Robertson.
Oh yes. Okay, so what did you got? Yeah, it is. Do you want to go first on him?
Oh my god, I liked him at the start, but oh my god, the longer it went on, I was like, "You're just a twat, mate."
I don't know why they had to keep dragging him round.
They had to keep dragging him round, didn't they? Just leave him.
I mean, he doesn't have anything to do with the actual invasion. He simply wanted to make a buck out of the, designs.
Yeah, although something was up with him, I'm telling you, because I think he's not human.
Yeah.
Because he mentioned, like, if you rewatch it, I can't remember what the lines are, but he mentioned something about, I don't care about the humans or something like that when he's talking to the Daleks. And then something else like humanity later on. All these humans. He says something like that later on, and I don't think he's human for some reason.
So you think something else is going to come out of it?
No. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's just Chibnall shit writing, but it sounded like he wasn't human.
That's an interesting idea. No, I think he is human. But I think this is what...
I think he is human, but yeah.
This is what I think. I think that they toned down a lot of the Donald Trumpness, which was nice. And I think that it made him, I think he was better in this episode than he was in Arachnids. Yeah. He felt very much menacing and all that kind of stuff. But he also felt like he was out of his depth. You know, he was, trying to be this menacing character, but he really didn't know what he was meddling with.
Yeah.
So
I just found him really, really at the start. I was like, okay, nice to see his character back when he was introducing the Dalek. But then, yeah, as you said, he got dragged around everywhere.
Yeah,
and his one-liners didn't become funny; they became annoying. And you were like, Jack, we don't need you in the TARDIS anymore. Why are you still in the TARDIS? Why has the Doctor still got you here?
It was so that he could go and fight them, isn't it? You can get in the thing and, go and see the ship and all that.
Yeah. Tell you what I started laughing at. So, Jack, obviously, Ryan and Doctor have their emotional conversation in the TARDIS.
Yes.
They land, step out the TARDIS. We completely forget Jack's there. Where was he during that conversation? Having a shit or something? They're having an emotional conversation, and then the TARDIS lands, and 3 of them step out. Where was Jack during that?
Busy.
It's just weird.
I don't remember where every single person was in every single moment.
No, the thing is, he wasn't in that scene. It was literally just him and Phil's uploaded the review of his daughter, so I'm gonna watch that.
Going
it
back
was
to Jack Robinson.
Yeah, so he wasn't in that scene when they were having their emotional talks. It was just the Doctor and Ryan, and then they step out the TARDIS, and there's three of them. I'm like, what?
Well, I think that they tried to make the impression that this was a different part of the TARDIS. You know,
It was the fucking console room. What are you on about?
you know, like because I know it, but it is to us the console room. But if you weren't like savvy, then you wouldn't realize, would you?
I think no, sure.
It's kind of a thing that they kind of went, please forget that we're in the control room, because they didn't show like a picture of the controller of the controls.
But you know what the walls look like?
Yeah, obviously there's not much.
You know what them stairs? She walked down them stairs with Jack.
Yeah,
Captain Jack.
Yeah, I mean,
right, okay.
But Jack Robinson really, like, he was ultimately the weakest link in terms of why they kept dragging him around.
Daleks
And when they went up to the ship, that felt like there was no real point of him doing that, just to keep his character going.
The Daleks were the weakest link.
Yeah, okay, well, hang on. Let me finish this point, and then you can go to the Daleks.
Okay.
So I think that when you have, the Daleks within the episode, and you have all Jack and all that, I don't think we really needed another Jack. It could have been this sort of shifty prime minister that is being used.
I did like the prime minister. I thought they kind of copied a bit of Harriet Jones bit when she died, but
like a bad Harriet Jones. Like
she tried to have a Harriet Jones moment. Which I will never surrender. Tried to have a Harriet Jones moment, but we didn't know her, so I didn't really care.
No, but I think that but she was never really the focus, was she? She was the kind of vehicle that gets them places, basically. And I think that what could have happened is that if you didn't have Jack Robinson, you kept him out of the picture. You would have just had this politician that would basically do it, and then wouldn't really have the resources to build them. So that was his section, but really he did not need to keep following them around.
No.
Let's go on to the Daleks then. What do you think of the Daleks? I really like the look. I like the idea that because they're Earth-made, 3D printed Daleks. I thought that was pretty cool. And the scene when the ultraviolet teleports all of the insides into the Daleks.
I mean that was probably explained in Resolution, but I didn't get it.
It was, but I think I didn't realize it was teleported into its metal casing. I thought it was bring it all back together. But I suppose.
Sure.
But maybe I misunderstood. But the idea behind that scene I quite liked, and the Daleks and their concept within this episode is really cool. When they're first introduced, for example, who wouldn't want Dalek-like drones of to crowd control and stuff. I mean, he had a point there, but also no one knew what a Dalek looked like for some reason as well.
Even though they've been invaded on a different Earth, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think it's one of those things you have to take. Cause,
oh my God, Dan!
It's a thing.
John Bishop is playing Dan.
I know.
His name is Dan.
We're going to get to that later.
Oh, sorry.
I know. I had a joke planned.
Oh, you can cut that.
Yes, well, and he had a fair point with the whole Daleks being, security drones. But what did you think? What did you think about the idea of them bringing back the bronze ones to get rid of the sort of impure ones? Because I didn't think I quite liked it. I thought it was weird at the time, but I grew to like it within the episode.
What, the Daleks?
The Daleks and the idea of the bronze ones coming back.
I like the bronze ones, but I don't think they should have been in the episode.
Really? Okay, yeah.
Because I think the episode was at its best when the Daleks were being Daleks, going around killing people on Earth. Right?
Yes, I did like those shots of them in the airports and all that.
The second they brought down the the bronze Daleks, right?
Right.
It was just no one cares about the humans. No one cares about the humans anymore. I think Daleks are always at the best. For example, Stolen Earth or Journey's End, when they are on Earth terrorizing, which is what they were doing for that brief scene. But then the bronze Daleks come down, and then we're running around Dalek corridors.
Yeah, and obviously because those bronze Daleks were still down on Earth. We never saw them on Earth.
Yeah, there was millions that flew out.
Lots of them. It felt like they were trying to just sort of...
And I thought, oh my fucking God, this is when the episode's going to get big.
Yes,
no,
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good. Like, the bit on the bridge and stuff like that I liked.
8 of them have a standoff.
Yes.
8 of them. He literally said there are thousands of them, and we see fucking 8 on a bridge, as that's their standoff.
It felt like they had massive ambitions for it, but in reality they could not do them.
Sounds a lot like Chibnall, doesn't it?
Like, it's like they wanted this to happen with this huge battle, and the idea of it was trying to get you invigorated and excited, but then they would only show you small snippets of it, you know? Like, they would just show you, like, cornered off sections. Like, when all those bronze Daleks, are on Earth, and they're like, what are they doing? Just flying around, looking for the other Daleks? No. Why are all the Daleks just stopped invading as well? All that kind of stuff. Why would you stop invading? And they're all on the ship. And they're all on the ship, and I'm thinking we're going to get a Davros reveal. Like, the way that they're talking about it. The whole take me to your leader and stuff
honestly,
like that.
I really thought that was going to be Davros. Everyone's saying Davros.
I was like, oh,
the fucking surprise is another companion. You're taking the fucking...
You haven't... You've gone to the end again.
Because it's quite hard to review when you fucking know the episode. You just want to talk about the episode.
I know, we are talking about the episode. I'm still talking about the Daleks.
All right, okay. We'll talk about the Daleks. The Daleks, the bronze ones shouldn't have been in it. And if they should, it should have been the absolute... That should have been the finale. There should have been a lot more scenes of them terrorising the world.
Yeah.
And the Doctor should have actually been involved in that.
I'd have preferred
not
to
running
see
around in Tokyo
on Earth, or just if they were just in the middle of the action instead of on a ship. That would have been nice, but I didn't mind it.
With blue lights, not red lights.
Okay. Anything you want to say about the episode?
The red lights were a bit of a joke. What?
Before we start talking about like the ending and all of that, the hopes for the future and all of that, have you got anything that you want to say about the episode?
The fact that I just didn't like it?
Yeah, like, so you said that you found it funny, like you were almost embarrassed by it. What
I was embarrassed by it. I really was.
What items? What things?
Well, first of all, the pacing was completely off.
Okay, I can understand that. It did kind of throw you this way and then throw you that way.
You were getting shook.
Yeah.
Think about it. I felt a bit sick. Just I was getting shook. I didn't really. I'm just trying to think where to say it. You're just getting shook from scene to scene to scene to scene to scene to scene to scene.
Yeah,
right?
it had a lot to do.
And you've got to catch up with everything that happened. Like, I'm an idiot. I'm still trying to work out what's going on in the previous scene. Then I'm getting shook to the next one with more exposition shooked at me. I'm trying to work out what's going on. Then apparently Jack Boy gets to the whole take me to the leader. Why would the Daleks even take him? Daleks would exterminate him on the spot, which I really thought they were going to make them seem intimidating. The Daleks were not intimidating. The bronze ones were not intimidating. The Daleks are just not really... Just think about it. I know I keep going back to it, but Stolen Earth, the Daleks, for viewers, were scary, right? But now, the Daleks weren't even scary. They could have been scary if they've kept them on the Earth killing the humans, which is what we all thought it was going to be. That's why I was like, oh my God, this episode's going to be so good. But the bronze Daleks fucking shoot other Daleks, and then, I don't like the episode. I really don't like the episode.
I think that the reason you don't like the episode is because you based it on your mind. You wanted to see... I did as well, but I felt like I got that. An invasion. You wanted to see Daleks everywhere, and you wanted to see the Doctor running through and all that kind of stuff. You wanted to see all of that.
I didn't want to see the Doctor, to be honest.
You wanted to see the Daleks get destroyed in an explosive way, and you know what I mean, like Doomsday kind of thing.
Yeah, but even then, even if there was something I was like, oh, that's what I wanted, right? But even if there was something better, like something that I've seen which was better than what I thought it was going to be, I'd be like, fucking well done, well done, well done. But this, I can't. The Daleks are just, they're not used properly, man. The Daleks aren't intimidating anymore.
They haven't been
The
for
music,
a
can
long
we
time.
put the fucking music? Like, could we just bring back Murray Gold? You can't have Daleks without Murray Gold music.
I liked the music for the Daleks, but I think you've cemented in your head what you wanted to see from this episode, and because you didn't get it, that's why you don't.
No.
I think
Honestly, I went into the episode, right? We had I tried to avoid all these videos, talk about theories, because I wanted to go in not knowing as much as I can, right? The only thing I knew is what I've spoken to you about, being like, someone's going to die. Turns out they didn't fucking die. And there was a big surprise at the end. That's all I knew about the episode, right? I've had theories, but that's all. But they were just theories of not what I want to happen, just what could happen. Like, that's all. I went into this episode pretty much clean-minded as possible. Obviously, I had what in my dream, in my head would have been the best episode. But even then, if something better happens, or even not as good, but still good, I'd be like, You know what? That was okay. But I can't. If you rewatch this now, right, I can't tell, right, if people saying they like the episode because Doctor Who's back, or they actually liked the episode, because it's a laughing stock. It really is. There's so much they could have done with this episode, but they're playing it safe. They are.
you think okay. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I hoped would happen that didn't, so I can understand what you mean, and it feels almost like wasted potential that they didn't use Jack the way that I thought they'd use Jack.
Okay, I know I keep going on, but I keep going on about this, but this episode, for us, as let's say, like big Who fans, you saw my story. The excitement I had going into this episode, being like, oh my fucking god, thinking this is going to be brilliant. I went in thinking this is going to be brilliant, right? It started off the first 15 minutes. I thought, okay, this is good. Then the Doctor escaped prison.
Yes. I see what you mean there.
I think if I could change one thing, I'd make it a Doctor Light episode, because don't get me wrong, Jodie's probably at the best we've seen her.
Yeah,
she showed her range in emotions finally. But I don't know. It's just it's just funny. There's so many things that they could have done, but they were just playing it too safe. Like, kill off a companion. That's, be honest.
But I think we've had so many killing of companions that it just would seem so bland.
You would have liked it more if Ryan died. You would have liked it more if Ryan died.
I prefer Graham dying, because I felt like if Graham died, then he would have.
Die.
Because I felt like if Graham died, then it would give Ryan a real emotional beat to end on.
But then if Ryan
really
died, it would give Graham a real emotional, because he's his only family.
I don't know. I just always saw it as Graham going, to be honest, not Ryan.
I always thought it was Ryan going.
I mean, I can understand what you mean. If you killed Ryan, but then I felt like he'd be in a. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I just always imagined it would be Graham dying.
I'll say one thing which I did like about the episode: the direction. It was very well.
The episode was beautiful, I think, and the scene when they're on the roof.
There's a few scenes which I did. Actually, I say the direction. No, because it kept cutting from scene to scene. But there was moments which I did enjoy, like the slow-mo TARDIS landing and the final, all right, Daleks, get in my box, which I found was so funny. That watching all them Daleks go into that box, oh my god.
It reminded me a lot of them flying into the Ark from Doomsday.
Flying out the Ark, yeah.
Very similar, isn't it, really, in that respect?
It's very similar. But
slightly too similar, perhaps.
It's a lot of things he's copied, R2D. Christian was copied, hasn't he?
Yes.
Oh, you've had work done. You can talk. Copycat.
I do think sometimes, are we too hard on Doctor Who because we expect a lot from it?
No.
Like, there was a moment...
expectations have been lowered so much recently from the previous series. I wanted another decent episode, right? I wasn't expecting brilliant. I wanted a good episode. This wasn't even mediocre. This is something I'd laugh at
hopefully with friends if they felt the same way, but they clearly don't. You know what I mean?
Right. I think you are in the minority, to be honest, in
I am very
disliking
much
it.
am in the minority. That's why it kind of annoys me that no one else feels this way.
And yeah, I understand what you mean in some points. You know, I'd love to have seen Jodie in the prison longer, and I felt like Graham leaving was just like a package, and Ryan's friends weren't exactly shown to us or anything like that. But I think there was a lot of lovely moments in that I really enjoyed. So, are you ready to move on to the bit at the end?
Which bit?
The bit that you keep mentioning that I'll keep cutting.
Oh, John Bishop.
John Bishop, during multiple points during this podcast, Will has just sort of screamed about the ending. So,
Okay, can I also
go
mention
on.
the fucking Sycorax? Hello. I did
It's
like
a
shouting him.
Sycorax. It's a
It is
helmet,
Sycorax.
isn't it? But
It's a
I saw a
fucking
picture, and
Dan, it's a
looked like
Sycorax.
Sycorax. I thought it was a Sycorax. And
It is a Sycorax. Sycorax. Did you not think it was a fucking Sycorax?
It was. No, it was. I knew it was. But
It was.
there was this picture I saw after the episode, and I thought, that doesn't look like a Sycorax.
Yeah.
But it
Although
must have been.
I did like the little fan wank of her in the prison, and that's why that. But her in the, yeah,
Yes, I thought it was indulgent, but not overindulgent.
Yeah,
You know, I thought that it was just pushing on the line a little bit. If they kept her in there, it probably would have got worse. But I think, like, who was knocking on the door of her prison cell?
probably Jack.
Oh, yeah, I'd imagine so. Anyway, sorry, I've got distracted. So John Bishop, then, what are you expecting from his companion? We don't know anything about him at the minute, but what would you like to see his character be like? Do you think he'll be a warm welcome or the opposite?
I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. Depends if Chibnall can write him, but probably not.
I mean, I think John Bishop is a pretty good actor.
Yeah,
For
like-
a comedian turned actor, he's a pretty
yeah.
good one.
The actors, I've got nothing against John Bishop. John Bishop is I've seen him in what's that other thing he's in? I don't know. I've seen him in stuff. He's a good actor,
He's a
right?
good comedian as well. He's got good delivery.
Yeah, he's a good comedian. He's got good delivery, and he's got. But if Chibnall cannot write this man, he's going to flop so hard, like Ryan.
Yeah, because I think why have they done it? I think why on earth have
why
they
have they
added
done
him?
it? The biggest compliment, the biggest complaining, whatever the fucking word is,
Complaint that
is
we've
like-
had is
is
that
that
there's
the
too many of
TARDIS
them.
is too crammed and we don't know him.
We
So
don't know yet.
Chibnall has gone,
They're
you
gonna
know
throw
what?
another person in,
Fuck you, and let's have another one.
and it looks to me like he's appearing in episode 1 as well.
Oh, yeah.
So it's his first episode. So we don't even get any time with just solo Jodie and Yaz, which I would have not minded. You know, I think the Thasmin thing
Apart
would have
from
got
the
a bit
Thasmin
painful,
fans.
but like, I think that it would have been okay. Like, we would have got some good character development for Yaz, and you know, she could really use the kind of cop skills and you know be on her own a bit and things like that, which would have been lovely, and which is what I was hoping. Which is what we got in this episode. But I was hoping that they would do that on a full team level. And adding another companion does feel like you might be being excessive. What do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, honestly, like everyone was saying, it's too cramped. TARDIS. You don't have enough time to know these people, and then they've just fucking chucked another one in there.
Yes. Well, is that all you've got to say? We don't know anything about him, do we? We'll have
John
to find
Barrowman-
out. But,
Not John Barrowman. Captain Jack wasn't done well.
we talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah, but I still want to say he
You
was.
want to just say it
as
again?
much, I was so happy that he was back. Like,
Yeah.
woo, Captain Jack. Bit of the Doctor Who which I liked, and now he was just kind of pushed to the side, just like Graham. Graham had nothing to do in that episode.
Mm-hmm.
Who else had
No,
nothing
he
to do in
didn't.
that episode? Ryan's only moment was saying, "I want to leave now," and that was it. Sorry, I just don't like the episode. If you can't tell,
Okay. So, should we end it there?
we can do.
So, thank you very much for listening. Hopefully, you did enjoy it. What are your thoughts on Revolution of the Daleks? Put them down in the comments below.
I thought you were asking me.
Yeah, we just talked about it. Put them down in the
What are my
comments below.
thoughts? Oh, well, let me know.
You know, it was
I
alright.
really enjoyed it, honestly. It's one of the best episodes.
At this point, because it is the new year, I wanted to kind of do a highlights thing at the end. So, by that, I would like to thank Will, obviously, for making multiple appearances during this year. I think you've done like 8 or 9, something like that.
Too fucking many.
Too many. No, you must have done 10. But I'd like to thank Will. I'd like to thank Regan. I would like to thank Amy.
Do you not want to go for the other one that's been in it at least?
I'm going through the list of people that have been.
You've got a list.
It's in order. It's in order of when they appeared.
Appearance order.
Yes, I'd like to thank Ashton, and if you're listening, I hope you're doing well in your art.
I forgot. Ashton
and I hope that you've got a phone that doesn't make you sound like you are in a microwave.
Oh, let me know. I want to message Ashton and see what he thought of the episode.
Did I thank Amy? I don't know. I thank her again. Thank you, Amy, and of course Yasmin as well. So thank you very much to them, people. If you enjoy the podcast, sub to it. We're available on a whole bunch of platforms, including Spotify, Deezer, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, iTunes.
Ashton agrees! Ashton agrees!
No! Ashton didn't like it either.
Ashton, finally!
Well, but thank you very much for listening. If you haven't already, you should sub to our podcast because we do these things monthly, sometimes twice monthly, which is an intention I have for the coming year. I don't know who. I'm planning to get some more guests as well in the next year, varied up the guests and depending on the topics that we're talking about within each one. But thank you very much for listening, and we shall continue to see you in 2021. Okay, let's begin the podcast, shall we?
Oh, Dad, guess what I bought in sex today? The sex shop. CEX. Guess what I bought in CEX today? Destiny of the
What?
Daleks.
Oh, CEX, not the sex shop.
Wait, what?
Destiny of the
You
Daleks.
bought what? That's the old Matt Smith
No,
game.
that's the Tom Baker story.
Oh, Destiny
Yeah,
of the
is it
Daleks.
good?
Yes. Okay. Welcome back to the Geek Show podcast for the end of the year, which
Do you
is
mean,
now
Dad?
January.
It's 2020, end of the year. Is this going up for 2021?
It's the end. It was the end of 2019. It is now 2020, and we're going to be doing a quiz.
Woo!
Yay.
The
Quiz.
sheer enthusiasm.
We were out.
Audio sync. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so what we're doing this month is we're doing a quiz about the year, and some of the questions are about the decade as well.
Do we need a pen and paper?
So it's not that complicated. So there's a few different sets of questions. There's 19 questions altogether.
19?
Just because I could not think of another one to
Are you
get to
serious?
20.
Quick, come up with 20, you lazy.
What would one right that is? You can't
Right
have
now.
19.
Right now.
No, but I thought if you had the same question, if you had the same
Here's a
amount of
question
right
for
answers,
you.
then it'd be
Here's a
stupid
question, Dan,
having
you can have
20.
this one. Who directs the new Star Wars? There you go.
Okay, then. First question was given by one of the competitors. Okay, so first question.
What the f is that?
That's my buzzer.
I don't know.
I've
Is
got
that
a
was
buzzer.
okay? If
Why
that's
have you
was
got a
buzzer.
Get a buzzer.
Okay. Is everyone ready? First question.
I'd like to say I'm not a geek. I don't even know why I must be on the geek show because I'm not a geek, so I'm going to get all these
Yeah.
questions wrong.
Yeah,
Right,
me
carry on.
neither. I'm a very, very cool boy.
Same.
Okay.
I talk to loads
so-
of girls and they all reject me.
The first
Yeah.
question. First question. Who directed the last Star Wars film? You have to hit your thing.
Wait, what if I don't have a buzzer?
I thought you had a
Wait,
buzzer.
No, I don't have a
Should we do
buzzer.
a noise? Should we make a noise? Mine would be Regan, choose yours.
Bong.
Bong. Yeah.
Okay, you ready? That was the first question. Regan, you had to be a bit quicker. Okay, so Will got that question incorrect.
Oh, wait, bong,
Regan.
bong, bong, bong. J.J. Abrams.
Yes, that's 1 point to Regan.
Wait, Will, you just said the bloke from Spider-Man. You absolutely... J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah,
What the hell?
I know.
Will is on 12. You are on 11. There is
Oh,
one
no,
question
I need
left.
to get-
This is
Wait,
double
is
points.
this the
This
final-
could have
is this the
not
final
gone any
question?
better. This is the last question.
Right.
Okay, this is a series.
Bong!
You can't yet.
You were going to say Mandalorian.
No, I was, because that's the answer.
It's not. A group of people fight and have sex to get a seat.
What?
Sorry?
It's more of a riddle, this one. A group of people fight and have sex to get to a seat.
Bong. It won't be
Regan.
that. It won't be that. Sex education.
Reed.
No.
It won't
Reed.
be that. It won't be sex
Reed.
education.
Will.
The boys.
Will for the win.
The boys.
Incorrect.
Oh.
I will give you some
Bong,
extra
bong,
chances
bong.
because it's like the last one.
Bong.
Okay, Regan, go.
Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Yes!
Regan, I think you won. Regan, you won by 1 point.
Oh! Will
He's gone. He's gone. Okay, so the final tot up, right? Regan, you
I'll
had
let him have it.
13 points. Will had 12 points. You were 1 point behind.
Oh.
Oh, that couldn't
Gee.
have gone any better. Welcome back to the Geek Show podcast. This month, we're going to be taking a look at characters and villains that we would like to see return to Doctor Who. This month, I've also been joined by Will, who is...
It cut out the second you said my name.
Did it?
Mm-hmm.
I said, who is
Will.
here. It's nice to see, in Big Finish, that people keep coming back. You know, you have tons of companions coming back to Big Finish.
Mm-hmm.
Not playing the older versions of themselves that they are now, but playing the younger versions of themselves. Colin!
Carry on.
The cat's just going for it.
He's a good boy, aren't you, Colin? Don't stand on the wire, though.
Bad idea, Colin. Colin, FYI, is Will's cat. We really need to get some music for this thing, because I just feel like it's really...
It's just...
What was that?
Soft. My brother is a dick.
This month, I am joined by Alex...
Hello.
and Ashton. I was going to invite Ashton this month to join us, but we had to film this really quickly, and it all fell apart, so I didn't ask him. I'm sorry, Ashton. He's literally the only person that listens to the podcasts.
Yeah, not even I do, and I feature on them.
I know.
So
He told me that when our school had a lockdown, basically we had to do a drill when they locked down the school, so they had to close all the doors and all that. He was sitting listening to our podcast. So this month we're going to be doing collectibles, especially Warhammer and stuff, because that's basically Alex's interest. He's a bit like Harry Potter at the beginning of
forte.
Philosopher's Stone. Did I
what
make that up?
sense?
Because I could have sworn there's a scene when he's playing with action figures, little characters.
oh, are you?
I'm-
Oh, I know the
yeah.
one you're on about. It's not quite that. It's
No,
not
actually,
quite.
I think it's actually one of the later films that he's playing. He's painting figures or something.
No, I know the
I don't know
the
which
scene
film
you're
it
on
is.
about. It's the one where he's playing with a guy on a horse.
Playing with a
or
guy on a
something.
horse.
Toy
Yeah,
soldiers.
he is.
This lockdown's given me a lot of free time to just sit at home and play with my toy soldiers.
Yeah, I'm so glad you finished that sentence that way.
What's going on, my absolute gamers? Welcome back to another banging podcast. Is it still called
Yep.
The Geek Show? Still called The Geek Show. That name is terrible.
we need to
but, you know,
change the
actually,
name.
that's
Let's be
me.
honest. I just don't know what to change it to.
I feel like the
Yeah.
intro is more your thing.
Okay. Hello.
3 virgins in a basement. That's what, no,
You can't call it that. Why? What? That had so many connotations. The minute that I heard that, I was like, God, do I have to delete that now?
that sounds...
That sounded way worse than you thought, didn't it?
I didn't even mean it like that.
You just meant that we're forever alone.
Yeah, not that we have to keep that in. We need a whole refresh.
Do a whole refresh then. Go on.
Yeah. From the
I'll do
start.
the intro, shall I?
I think Ashton should do it.
Okay.
No. What's the point of me doing this?
You're the guest.
Therefore, you should.
I don't even know what I'm gonna. I don't even know what I'd be saying.
Should we do it together? Should we do one word each?
Okay. One word each. I'll start. Hello.
And
Welcome.
2.
the
Geek.
show.
Ashton.
Ashton.
I've
Say
heard
pod-
something.
It cut out. Could you say podcast?
Podcast.
It cut out again. Goddamn Android phone.
No, we didn't.
Oh, podcast. There we go.
I've forgotten. This
Is
what? This isn't the intro.
This is
Move
not
on a
the
bit.
intro. Will, you have made the worst idea ever.
I think it's a
This
banging
time-
idea. Oh, I should have said
This
time,
time,
not
me-
this is.
Yeah, this time. That's okay. This time, I'm going to be joined by Will.
Hello.
And to introduce you to our new guest / host, Ashton.
Hello there. I am obviously happy and
I thought that was the first time that you were going to speak then, when your mic didn't cut out because you have an Android phone.
Android.
stop dissing the Android. There's nothing wrong with an Android, right?
Apart from the fact that
Well,
you
apart
sound
from
like
the fact
you're
you
talking
sound
through a
terrible.
fat arsehole.
Great.
Yeah. Apart from that,
Well, if my laptop would actually work, my voice, then this would actually be good.
it's been 6 minutes and we've just done the intro.
Yeah.
The other downside of
Oh fuck! I just spilled my pot noodle all on my bed.
My
oh,
cock
you
I say a lot,
plebeian.
not a lot.
Podcast should keep rolling, but paused. Into
I mean, I
conversation
just
where
wanna
Will
say,
fixes his pot noodle. Will, have you fixed your pot noodle?
I've just spilt more fucking pot noodle.
You've spilt
Oh,
more pot noodle on
Will.
the floor.
Stop.
I'm not eating at my bed anymore.
Why are you eating on your bed in the first place?
Good idea.
I'm eating at my bed because I have to be.
Okay, well we'll carry on now. Right, I'm just gonna wrap up the podcast. Okay, so thank you very much for listening. Hopefully you did enjoy this month's podcast. It has been a bit of a mess, but hopefully it has alleviated a bit of boredom over the last couple of minutes.
It's
etc.
either smile or dead face.
So Dan's trying to wrap this up. Yeah, Will is still going on.
I know
about-
he's still talking.
Oh,
this is
sorry.
I actually mute him most of the time towards the end, while I edit it so that you don't get that interruption. So thank you very much for listening. Hopefully this has relieved some boredom and I hope made you laugh at some point.
Hi ho, hi ho.
'Cause-
Off to work
Off
we
to
go.
work we go.
Yeah, this
I
is
hope.
exactly why I mute you guys.
Hi ho.
Okay, so thank you very much for listening, and I suppose we shall see you next month when we will talk about something else but I just don't know what. We might do a
No,
quiz.
we'll
next
aim to talk about something.
There's an hour of footage. Hello and welcome to a new podcast. It's the same sort of content, but it's on a new show. So the new show is called The Who Pod. It is me and my friends basically being idiots in front of a microphone, and on this occasion over a call, because obviously you can't be together.
Second question.
Yeah.
Who's your least favourite Doctor?
Okay, I think that based on how much I like their episodes, for me, I think I'd have to put Jodie Whittaker as my least favourite. No, but I base it off the episodes that I like of them. So for me, there's only like 7 or 8 episodes that I like of them. No, there's only
Okay.
like 6 or 7
When I
episodes.
think of like least favourite Doctor, I think of like the actor or actress that you feel like has portrayed the character of the Doctor the worst. Not the worst, but like hasn't done a better job as the other people might have done.
See, that's difficult because I don't think any of them have done a bad job.
Okay, that's all right then. I didn't know if there was going to be one
I
that
think
you really didn't like.
Capaldi could have been truly incredible if he was given some better lines towards the end. Like, his last episode, I think, was pathetic, if I'm honest.
It just depends on the screenplay.
Yeah,
and how
it depends on the
write it.
episode and whether I like that Doctor or not. So, like, I found Jodie Whittaker quite irritating a lot of the time. I think, especially in Series 11, I think that some of the stuff that she said was quite, like, you know, it's like, do as I say, not as I do.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like, oh, we never kill spiders. We're never going to shoot a spider. Let's all put them in a room and they can suffocate. You what? See, so I'd have to go with Jodie as my least favourite Doctor. Because I think that
I
she
can
just...
imagine you
she
in the
has
room
worst
going, you
scripts.
what?
That's honestly,
Yeah.
really, like, Ask Will, but if Will would say it without a doubt, it'd be Jodie Whittaker because I think it's more because like she has the worst episodes. I think to me, she's had the worst. She's had for the 2 series that she's been the Doctor, she's had so many duds that it makes her the worst Doctor to me. Not because I think she can play it well, but I think she's given crap stories sometimes.
Yeah, I get what you mean. It depends on the
I quite like the finale.
Oh.
A lot of people don't, but I like the finale. So I would say that she's good there. But I wouldn't say she's good in Arachnids in the UK, which is the whole let's put spiders in a room episode.
Yeah.
Doctor Who came across as quite pretentious during Series 11 and Series 12. It used to be this kind of like nice little show that loads of people liked. Everyone knew it was on low budget, but it was fine. But now they've tried to stretch the budget to make it seem like it's, way better. We changed. Oh look, guys, we've changed our aspect ratio. It means absolutely nothing, but we've changed it. It becomes a bit more pretentious, I think. But also because of that, the direction got better and things like that. So, What's your final question?
Who's your favourite?
Who's my favourite Doctor? Well, everyone has their Doctor, right? Their Doctor, the person that they like the most, and for me, it's David Tennant.
Wow, actually, for some reason, I didn't think you'd pick.
Well, I think he's my favourite because he's the one that I knew for the longest when I was... I got attached to him because he was the one that I remembered the most.
Yeah.
To me, I used to think he was the Doctor for years. For years. But he was only the Doctor for 4 years. But to me, that was, the majority of my movement in primary school. 3 when it started, 4 when he was around, and I definitely watched Series 2. So 4 when I started watching Doctor Who, and he left when I was 8 or 9. So, well, hang on, Daniel can't count, so it's 8. So I had that attachment to it that I was that made me quite happy. I think it's sad when he left. This month I am joined by Will, aka Cyber Will.
Back again, the one and only.
And today we're going to be talking. Pardon?
I just said back again, the one and only, and that's really, really cringe.
I know, but I'm going to leave it in.
No. See, these classic shows, right? And I don't care if they're 10 years old. You can't hold them up to modern day standards.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, everything will be cancelled.
And Little Britain was never really something that was acceptable. I think it's funny because it's you can't say that. That's just so shocking. Somebody is always the butt of the joke, isn't it? And it's not just the blackface is unacceptable, but they make fun of posh people, they make fun of classes, and I think they also kind of poke fun at how ridiculous it is. The air hostess that works in first class. I think it's a good example for something that's just silly. She sees a person, she's wiping down everything, she's staying away from them, and she's wearing a mask. That kind of stuff. I think is the goodwill that was trying to be behind the show.
So do you think it should have got completely cancelled and removed off everything?
No, but I think that they shouldn't make any more, which I think is why the series stopped. But I think that maybe a warning just to appease the small minority.
An apology.
Not an apology, because I think comedy has to be one of those things that you don't treat as being serious. All you'd have to do is say, so when you click on it on BBC iPlayer, they'd be like, this thing contains offensive... it's an adult show at the end of the day. I think that adults can determine the difference between something that is...
And I'm pretty sure...
generally racist and just changing times. It was never really seen as highbrow television. It almost does feel like dirty television, It's like lowbrow television.
Guilty pleasure.
Yeah, it was something that you know is wrong, but you watch it anyway.
It's funny.
It's funny because it's rude, not because it's witty.
Anyway, we're on about Doctor Who, aren't we?
Yeah, so I thought that I would gather up a whole bunch of the most controversial moments from Doctor Who and talk about them. And the controversial moments in Can You Hear Me was, remember the scene when Graham is talking to the doctor about his cancer, and the doctor's response is...
I I'm not. I'm very antisocial person, so I'm just going to walk over to the TARDIS.
Yeah.
And probably think about something I would say, but then not come and say it.
Yeah. So basically, after a story that talks about your mental health and speaking about your issues, and then actually receiving help, the Doctor doesn't help him in any way. That is truly terrifying. That's far more terrifying than that, isn't it?
And the blowjob and other monsters.
Which is my next controversial moment, surprisingly enough.
That is just cringe and funny. I don't do anything controversial. It's a joke
because it's a
adults.
kids show, isn't it?
It's not a kids show. It's not a kids show. It's a joke for the adults. The kids aren't going to get it unless they go to their parents. What's he going to do with that slab?
I never noticed it, but
I never noticed it until I rewatched it and went, Russell T Davies, you dirty bastard.
So that did get a series of complaints. Probably not a lot, if I'm honest, but it did get a couple of complaints.
I bet it got a few laughs from the dads though, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it was funny, but 7:00 in the evening on a Saturday night, family television.
If it's one throwaway line, it doesn't like, oh, she sucks me off. It's like the sex life's okay. Look at the camera.
Hello, my name is Dear Steers, and welcome back to the Who Pod. This time I am going to be taking a look at the fandom of Doctor Who. The series, when I introduced my friend to Doctor Who, was quite popular last time, so I thought I would do a follow-up to it and kind of create a series out of the whole thing. This time I'm once again joined by Amy, who is going to be the... Oh, I was going to say something weird then. Thought not to.
What are you going to say?
I was going to say Doctor Who Virgin. Bit weird.
Like... To be fair, no, say it. That is pretty funny, to be fair. Okay, so I'm guessing season 12 has brought on some sort of...
I think Series 11 brought it on as well. But I think that since Jodie Whittaker was cast as the Doctor, I think there has been a bit of a civil war. And a lot of people have pointed it out recently.
Okay, I'm not going to stereotype here because I'm going to sound like really horrible, and I don't mean to be, but like, I know there's always going to be some sort of controversy with like giving the role to a woman. Whereas, I understand that, like, I do understand obviously equality, great, good for women, but then there's a point where if they were gonna involve a woman doctor, why did they have to wait till season 12? Then I think that
11 was her first series.
11. I feel like they're only doing it because other shows have gone like, oh, we might do a woman. Like, for example, James Bond, they were going to do a woman, weren't they? And I think there was a lot of other stuff that were going to do women instead of male roles. I feel like they're just being a follower.
Which is known as this sort of woke culture, which is what the I hate to say it, but the kind of right, the people that are the what I would call the bad side, the bad people, the ones that are quite aggressive on Twitter, shouting woke at this, shouting woke at that, everything like that. Those that come out of Star Wars films and Doctor Who and Star Trek and everything really at the minute, not because hey, it features a woman, but because they don't like how it's portrayed. Which I think, to be honest, they do have a point. At some point they have a point, because they're talking about discrimination, like positive discrimination. Doing something not for the sake of story, but for the sake of, it's like, hey, let's cast a woman, because that gets us in headlines. That gets people going crazy. And it does, for a short time. And those people, those that I've always considered to be, at this point I'm keep calling the bad side, but they're not. Those that I keep calling the bad side are then actually, making a point across that, why does it matter? Why does the gender of it matter?
Exactly, but then I also believe
it's the story
that,
at the end of the day.
because they've cast a woman, there's going to be a different acting technique. There's going to be a different sort of that shifts how that character, like how their relationships is like with every other character.
And I think that it has harmed it a bit, to be honest. I think it has harmed the dynamic. But I think you've lost the Wounded Soldier act with her. I think that the lost part No, well,
Yeah.
that's not even the case in Doctor Who, because there's always
Is it
been
not?
gay companions and everything like that. You know, it's
Oh, I didn't
to
know
be
that.
honest, I think it's always been quite liberal, quite forward-thinking. But I think that the female Doctor kind of put the straw in it, drew the final straw, and made a lot of other people move on to the show just to hate on it, to say, oh, it's woke this. And to be honest, you could do that with anything. You could say, oh, there's too
yeah.
many women in this show. We need to be careful about how many white people are in this show. It's just rubbish. It's built on nothing apart from their opinion. You know, and a lot of the ratings, the merch argument that keeps flying around Twitter constantly, which is that, oh look, Doctor Who merch isn't selling. Well, look, it's still on the shelf. Look, it hasn't been sold. But then you look over and you look at the other things, like bread's not sold out. That doesn't mean bread's not selling well.
Of all the analogies,
People-
you pick bread.
Well, like that, I thought like an essential item. So like,
I get what you mean.
just because no one's buying, just because there's bread on the shelf, does not mean that bread's not selling well.
Yeah, no, I get you.
You
like,
can't possibly tell, but you're basing your argument off that.
did you about the merch thing? Is there a reason why? Have they changed the merch or anything? Or
Well, they've released new merch, and so people that like Doctor Who are called by certain groups, the people that don't like Doctor Who now, as Jodie bots or shills. Some of the bigger
Some
names are
creative
being
names,
called
aren't they?
shills, right? Basically, we are being paid to like Doctor Who, or you know, we're fake, we're
Yeah.
bots, we're you know, it's
numbers?
petty arguments that make them go, you're just a Jodie bot. Right, well, then all of my opinions are completely invalid then. You're like, excellent, thank you. Like, it's an illogical way to do something. And
Yeah.
it's pathetic that grown adults shout Jodie bot at each other if they don't agree with someone over a TV show. And that's where the negative side of the fandom is.
So the thing is, it doesn't depend on the actual show. It depends on the people in it, and that's what
Yeah.
you can't do about it.
I think yeah, I see what you mean. I think it has ruined the show a little bit for me, to be honest, because there has been many moments when I've sat there and I've gone, oh, I didn't like that line. Why? Oh, because the people on Twitter are going to freak out about the line.
Yeah, like you're more, and also with the fandom, you should. The whole point is you're meant to share your thoughts. You're meant to go, oh, I love this bit, and then find people that agree with you, or just express your view on it and your love for it. But then
Yeah.
when it gets to a point where you avoid expressing your point of view in fear of other people being smacking you down and being like, no, I don't agree with that, that's where it goes too far.
And I think a lot of people have actually, they've left. Like, you stopped using Twitter and everything like that because their opinion has always just been like, oh, I like Doctor Who at the minute. Oh, you horrible human being. Like, it's just constant, like, this, that, and the other. You know, just racism, sexism, just everything over a TV show. You know, thank God Jodie Whittaker's not on Twitter or any social media, because if she was, every day she would be hurled abuse at over Twitter by people that just simply didn't like the portrayal of her Doctor.
Whereas it's not her fault.
No. I think that, you know, you can blame Chris Chibnall, but then I always think, in his position, would you have done any better than him?
That's true.
Chibnall's like the head writer kind of thing. Like, could you really create a story that is pleasing everyone? And I think you can't do that anymore. I think that people have taken it so to heart, then their expectations of what they see things to be. You know, the 60th anniversary scares me a bit, because what if it's not what I have pictured in my head? A lot of, even now, and it's years away, it's like 2023 is the 60th anniversary, so 3 years. And way before that, actors are getting interviewed about whether they're going to take part in it. Like, imagine if David Tennant doesn't turn up to the 60th. People are going to be so disappointed. And I think that the fandom is to blame for that. Our expectations are risen by that idea that, you know, they're going to join everything. You know, like it is real life.
Hello, welcome back to the Who Board. I'm Dan Johnson.
And I'm Yasmin Khan.
Oh, you dick. I knew. I should have seen that one coming.
I mean, my name's Yaz. I'm Yaz. My name is Yaz.
Wow.
Please call me Yaz. When you see me, call me Yaz, not Yasmin. I prefer Yaz, not Yasmin. And don't put an
Call
E
me
in
Daniel.
it as
I
well.
always prefer Daniel.
Don't put an E
My
in
whole
my
name.
name neither.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Daniel.
Hi, Danny, Dad,
Dad. Wow.
Dad. Yeah, you know my other nickname, Daddy, Dan, like that, Daddy,
Daddy Daniel.
Dan.
This took a weird turn.
It did. Should we actually move on? Okay, so
Just can I ask a quick question?
quick question. Yeah.
What do you think on the timeless child?
No, banned it.
You do not want to know my opinion.
Okay,
It will
that's
not
fine.
be PG,
We're on the
that's all I
same
will
level
say.
then. That's fine. If it was like, I love it, I was like, I'm not doing it.
Got it.
Overall, Dan won. No, Dan didn't win.
I was
with 4
going to
points.
say, have I done wrong?
Dan did not win. He
Yeah.
came second place with 4 points, and Will came first place with 9.
Bill got 9 points.
9
Bloody
points.
hell! He didn't mess around. All right, are you guys excited? Merry Christmas.
Over the
Absolutely.
moon.
Get festive.
Oh, this is the Christmas special.
It's the Christmas special.
Way.
Wait.
Oh, if it's the Christmas
Oh, he's got
special.
the Christmas hat on.
You gotta wear something.
Father Dan.
Father Dan. That I sound like a vicar. And then put that on
Father
there.
Daniel.
There we go. I've just realised this is a podcast and I'm wearing a Santa hat, so it's completely pointless. But you know, I've
It's more
literally.
festive for us.
It's
more
festive.
fun for us to look.
It's early December.
Did you say it's early June?
We're
Not June.
very prepared.
Scarf and tinsel.
I have tinsel right now.
Yeah, be careful not to tie the scarf too tightly, Will. I've seen what you've been doing to your baby
To tie a
Yoda.
scarf, not.
I mean, no one can see you.
Oh, I don't
What are you
have you.
joking?
Just for me.
Yeah, just for us.
Oh, and he's fallen over.
Sorry, I was just choking myself.
Right.
Really adding to the festive spirit.
I feel festive now.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
It
Very
looks
festive.
like Will is trying to strangle himself with tinsel.
Oh, you should see Baby Yoda. Oh,
I
he's
saw
really
it.
Christmassy.
You hung Baby Yoda off your ceiling.
I did. All the neighbours. I don't know how long that's going to stay up for, but say the neighbours drive past going, "Oh, it's all Christmassy." To see hanging Baby Yoda.
Well, this was fun and also quite painful.
And quite long.
And quite long. Went on for a bit longer than
Quite worth it.
I said to you. I'm looking at about 40 to 50 minutes.
How long are we looking at that?
2 hours.
Editing.
Oh my
2 hours?
Yeah,
2
it's
hours?
10:15. Right, so
Oopsie.
yes, so I've been trying to hurry you along a bit, but like you get distracted. So thank you very much for listening, and we shall see you soon. Goodbye.
Works on you. We'll hear you soon. Through your window. Bye.
Yeah, we'll hear you soon.
Did I say see you? Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Still can't do an intro right.
Outro.
Ouch, flip it. Right, can we stop now? All right.
Yeah.
I thought you had stopped, so I was
Goodbye.
taking piss.
Okay, so thank you very much for listening. Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, bye. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Hi.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you very much for listening. Goodbye. You don't have to leave. That was quite dramatic. Goodbye.
See you later.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.
Thank you and goodbye. I don't really have anything specific to say, but
Links-
I've been opened up to a new world.
Bye.
Bye bye.
All right.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Right.
Okay, so thank you very much for listening. And we shall see you next month.
I need a piss.
Goodbye. That's actually going to be your last line. I hope that's okay with you.